Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. I hope your day and your week are off to a fantastic start. We've got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day comes some new opportunities to go ahead and make some money. I have 4 NBA player props to go ahead and share with you guys in tonight's New Year's Eve slate. Apologies for the video coming out a little later than normal. We had some college football content to record this morning. Kind of getting busy with New Year's Eve preparations at the pizza shop and everything. So it's been a pretty hectic, busy day, but better late than never. We still get the video out on time, kind of on time. Quick little recap before we dive into today's picks. And we started off pretty positive. We had 2 straight cashes, a real close hit there with James Harden over 30.5 points plus assists. Some late free throws cash us that over. And then Christian Braun had 18 points in general, so he cashed that line very easily. Maxey, it was an Embiid game. Embiid kind of took over, and Maxey, who had a pretty solid game, he had 23 points and 3 assists. Shot the ball pretty well also. Unfortunately, just didn't have the volume with Embiid scoring almost 40 points last night. Klay Thompson ultimately did not play due to an illness. However, we kind of were right on that one because Spencer Dinwiddie, who kind of took Klay Thompson's role, had a massive game last night. So I have no doubt that had Klay played last night, he would have cashed it over. Unfortunately, we'll never know because he did not play. And then Kevin Huerter, which I'm going to put hands up, guys. I was pretty stupid to go ahead and bet him. I think I'm going to add him to the no bet list, honestly. And someone actually in the comments said that yesterday. I just took a chance. The data was good, but overall, I mean, he 20 minutes, he finished with 3 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. A pitiful performance from Kevin Huerter. And so, yeah, 2-2 last night. We did technically lose a little bit on the unit side of things because of the way, the bets turned out. We are 80-68 overall in the year for our single bets, still up over 3 units on the season. Of course, our parlays, we are 8-16. We did not go 0-1 last night because we didn't have a parlay last night. That's a typo there. 8-16 overall in the year, plus 6.59 units. So overall, across both the single bets and parlays, we're up nearly 10 units this season. So doing pretty well overall. A little bit of a shaky night last night. Let's see if we can't do better in today's slate. 4 new NBA player props coming your way right now. All right, guys, first up, and again, I apologize greatly because I know these games start literally in like 30 minutes, and I'm just getting these props out to you guys now. I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, apologize for this. We have Pacers Bucks. 3 p.m. tip-off. We're going Damian Lillard over 29.5 points plus assists here, which is available for -140 on DraftKings. I will try and fly through this so I can get this video out by 2:30, so you guys can at least have a little bit of time to get these first 2 picks in, which are both from 3 o'clock games. But yeah, it's a little bit juicier at -140, but for good reason here. A 71% hit rate on the season for Damian Lillard. 17 out of 24 games he's cashed the over, averaging 33.33 points plus assists per game this season. Even if we go ahead and narrow it down to the last 10 games, an 80% hit rate, 8 out of 10, averaging 34.4 points plus assists per game. So whatever way you want to look at it, the data looks pretty good across the board here for Lillard. And even in the head-to-head department, 6 of his last 9, pause for applause, meetings, including 5 in a row, he's cashed at a 67% hit rate over his last 9 games, averaging 31.78 points plus assists per game in his last 9 meetings versus Indiana. So pretty good head-to-head data here. And obviously the Pacers, it's all about matchup here. Now overall, they are 22nd in points allowed, 12th in assists allowed. Versus point guards, it's even worse, which is really good for us. 27th in points, 24th in assists. A really good matchup here for Damian Lillard against the Pacers defense. Again, you see it so far, 5 straight meetings, including the one time they played this year. He cashed the over, had a really big game back on November 22nd, 24 points and 13 assists. So pretty good spots here across the board for Lillard. You also have the insights provided by Outlier. Damian Lillard has exceeded, and actually we can go ahead and adjust this a little bit because it's not completely accurate. If you actually adjust to where we're getting the line at, really good numbers. Damian Lillard has exceeded 30.5 points plus assists in 12 of his last 14 games versus bottom 10 defenses for points allowed, averaging a whopping 35.8 points plus assists per game average in those last 14 games against bottom 10 defenses. Again, we have the line at 29.5, so if you knock a point off there, it's a 100% hit rate over his last 14 games. So really good numbers across the board. Love this spot for Lillard. All right, guys, on my second pick in today's slate, we have another 3 p.m. prop. Again, flying through so I can get the video out in time so you guys can have a chance to bet these props. We got Raptors-Celtics, 3 p.m. tip-off. Derek White over 15.5 points. We're getting that from -120 on FanDuel. It's available on multiple sports books for varying odds. You see the matchup here. Derek White, 5 of his last 10 games in general, he's cashed the over, a 50% hit rate, averaging 14.2 points per game over his last 10 games. So far in 2024, a 65% hit rate on the over for Derek White on this total. 20 out of 31 games he's cashed the over 15.5 points, averaging 16.87 points per game this season. So pretty good overall data. And looking at the head-to-head data, you see each of his last 3 meetings against the Toronto Raptors, he's cashed the over, which is 3 of his last 5. 60% hit rate, 15.6 point per game average. Though the last 3 meetings, twice last year and one so far this year, he's cashed it. Back on November 16th, he had 18 points. Toronto defensively kind of a mess overall. They are the 27th ranked scoring defense in the NBA, giving up 119.1 points per game. Versus shooting guards, they are 20th, giving up almost 29 points per game. And Porzingis is out for Boston tonight, which should just create some more shot opportunities for Derek White in this game. Also, we have the instance provided by Outlier. Derek White has exceeded 15.5 points in 4 of his last 5 games at home, averaging 17.2 point per game average over his last 5 home games, 80% hit rate. So pretty good numbers across the board here for Derek White. I just think Toronto defensively is a mess. The only real risk here is in a blowout. Maybe he doesn't play a lot, but he hasn't played in a couple of days, so I'm hoping that Derek White and the Celtics kind of in a little bit of a funk here will try to get their groove back with a big win here versus Toronto. So I expect Derek White to play a healthy amount of minutes and hopefully cash this over of 15.5 points. All right, guys, 2 picks left in today's video. Please comment 6 down below if you're still watching at this point. As always, guys, appreciate those who watch all the way through. It really does mean a lot to us. Put a lot of work in these videos. So when you do watch through and listen to the analysis and don't just hop onto the picks, we really do appreciate that. So comment 6 down below if you're still watching. Next up, my third pick in today's slate. We're moving on to the later games at 9 p.m. So you'll actually have some more time to go ahead and ride this prop. The data is not very good on this one, kind of how we were yesterday. This is not a very good data prop, but I do like the spot. And funny enough, in yesterday's video, the prop, well, I guess one of the ones, James Harden, that prop had no good data either. And it did hit. The other one that didn't have good data was the Clay prop, which got voided. So, like Kevin Huerter, for example, had great data. Great data doesn't always mean everything, guys. Matchup, all those other things factor into the equation as well. But in the case of this prop, Desmond Bane over 33.5 points, rebounds, assists in the Grizzlies-Suns game, which we're getting from -113 on FanDuel. The data is not fantastic. Now, you see just a 30% hit rate over his last 10 games. So far in 2024, a 20% hit rate, 5 out of 25 games. He's cashed the over, averaging 26.44 points, rebounds, assists per game so far this season. Now, it's worth mentioning this line is definitely elevated way farther than what it would normally be. Now, the reason why it's elevated is because of this little laundry list over here. If I go ahead and show you the right side of the screen, pretty much the entire Grizzlies team is out. I feel like the last 2 seasons, Memphis, they just can't catch a break with injuries. Santi Aldama out, Brandon Clark out, Zach Edey out, G.G. Jackson out, Yuki Kawamura, game time decision. As long as his shoulder's still attached, he should probably play in this game because they don't have many other guys available. Jake LaRavia out, John Morant out, Marcus Smart out, Vince Williams out. So many injuries. This Grizzlies team, they basically only have Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr. and like Luke Kennard. I mean, I honestly, if you ask me to name more players on this Grizzlies team besides those 3, I mean, Jay Huff. I mean, you're really getting to the bottom of the barrel of this roster. They're probably calling up G League guys just so they can feel the team. And in that scenario here, I would imagine that Desmond Bane is going to get a lot of production, a very high usage rate. Look at the last 5 games. The data is actually not terrible. 60% hit rate over his last 5 games, 3 out of 5, averaging 32.8 points, rebounds, assists. The reason being, he's played a lot more minutes. This is where the injuries have kind of started for Memphis. You look at his overall minutes over the last 5 games, pretty average of almost 29 minutes per game, taking about 13.6 shots, 7 threes, more potential assists, more potential rebounds. Now, it's not too different from what his overall numbers are. I mean, the minutes, the shots, everything's a little bit lower on the season total compared to what has been over the last 5 games. But again, more and more injuries keep popping up for them. So that numbers you've seen in the last 5 games are only going to increase even further here tonight. Like I said, guys, they don't have anything here. He's going to take all the shots, a lot of production. The ball is going to be in his hands a lot tonight, so I'm expecting with the high usage a lot of stats here. And the Phoenix overall, they're not a bad defensive team, especially versus shooting guards. They're actually top 10 in both rebounds and points allowed. However, Phoenix also is missing, or potentially going to miss, a lot of key players. Grayson Allen, game time decision, Devin Booker, Colin Gillespie, Nurkic is out, and Royce O'Neal is out, but that doesn't really affect Bane here. But I do think that Desmond Bane should have a pretty big performance, even if some of these guys do play. I just don't think Phoenix defensively, they're going to be able to account for him. He's the only guy that can really, I guess maybe they will, but overall, I just think it's a really good spot for Desmond Bane. And one last data point, look at the head-to-head data. He's actually had a little bit of success here versus Phoenix with this line. You see, one of his last 3 is cashy. He is averaging, though, almost 30 points, rebounds, assists against the Phoenix Suns. And look at, he cashed it on December 2nd with a pretty big game. The last time they played, he literally just missed it by 1 point, rebound, assist. So that's when they have some of these these injuries piling up. But like I said, with everything going on, he should go ahead and score a healthy amount, grab a healthy amount of rebounds, dish out some assists in today's game. And last but not least, guys, our fourth prop in today's slate. We're moving on to Cavs-Lakers, 9 p.m. tip-off. We got Jared Allen of the Cleveland Cavaliers over 9.5 rebounds. We're getting it for -135 on FanDuel. It is available on multiple sportsbooks for varying odds. Actually, -125 on BetMGM is probably the way to go here. Jared Allen has cashed the over in 5 of his last 10 games, a 50% hit rate, averaging 9.2 rebounds per game over his last 10 games. So far in 2024, though, a 66% hit rate on this over. 21 out of 32 games he's cashed it, averaging 9.97 rebounds per game this season. So although over the last 10 games the numbers have been down a little bit, overall pretty solid year for Jared Allen, and the head-to-head data, although it's a smaller sample size, each of his last 3 meetings with the Lakers, he's cashed the over with flying colors. He's played it one time already this year, back on October 30th. He had 17 rebounds in that game. If we go down below, look at the rebound chances, 23 rebound chances the last time they played. So plenty of rebound opportunities for Jared Allen when these two teams meet over the last year and a half, 2 years or so. And it makes sense. The Lakers this year are the worst rebounding team in the NBA in terms of the center position, giving up 14.3 rebounds per game to opposing centers. So overall, pretty good spot there for Jared Allen in this matchup. Looking at the injury side of things, everything looks good to go. If anything, on the right side of things, it could be better. Anthony Davis, game time decision. LeBron's going to play on his birthday. Come on now. In Cleveland, too. There's no way he's going to miss this. Actually, it's in LA. Apologies for that. But I still think on his birthday against the Cavs, LeBron's going to play. Or day after his birthday, whatever the case may be. That's just kind of LeBron. He's going to show out and play on his birthday. I was tempted to take a LeBron prop, but I just feel like it's such a public play, so I'm going to avoid that. But I think Jared Allen over 9.5 rebounds is a really good spot. The Lakers do struggle versus centers in terms of rebounds. And again, he's crushed this line the last 3 times. So it's a little juice there at -125, -135, depending where you get it. But it's a really solid spot. All right, guys, those are all 4 picks in today's NBA slate. Thank you very much, always, for watching. And I do apologize one more time that the video is coming out a little later in the day, especially when these games are starting in like 30 minutes. I sincerely apologize. Please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. And, obviously, New Year's tonight. Have a happy New Year. Be safe. Don't go too crazy. Have fun, but be responsible. You don't want to start the new year off sour because of a couple of bad decisions on New Year's Eve night. So make sure have a great time, but just keep it classy. We'll be back tomorrow with another NBA player prop video to celebrate the start of the new year. But until then, guys, hope you're all winners. Happy New Year's. Thank you for sticking around all 2024. 2025 is going to be even better. Just wait and see.